So this is a quick opinion review with test footage of the Sony FX30. So we have broken down a review into 5 different stages based on attributes that fit our workflow. As content creators for the marketing division of George Fox University, in which we cover events, sports, and marketing material for the school, we want to make sure that we are going to meet our needs. Our measurements are going to be based off of 5 factors: low light capabilities, raw footage capabilities, picture quality, accessibility to features, and price sensibility. So I am going to warn you that this is all based on opinion. Sony loaned us these cameras to try out, but this is not a sponsored video. Stay to the end to find out how this camera stacks up against the Blackmagic 6K and the FX3. We can pick perfect scenarios and do tests in those spaces, but we really wanted to stretch this camera. The Bauman Auditorium on campus has been a bit of a headache for us, mainly due to its lack of light. This is how the footage looks, pushing its ISO of 6000 with a focal length of f4. We chose these settings because f4 is the f-stop that most lenses have, and 6000 ISO was where I wanted it for this scene at f4. So let's go over some of these low light capabilities. My opinion on its low light capabilities is that it was much stronger and had a lot less noise in comparison to the Blackmagic 6K camera. We were sold on the FX30 at that sort of mid-range low light scenario, but definitely we were impressed with the FX30 for really low light situations. We pulled the footage in post to see how it fared, and honestly, it did pretty well. Here's what it looks like in its raw form, and here's what it looks like with the noise reduction and a grade. So as you can tell, the picture quality is pretty good. We brought the camera in a different building and shot with some of the artwork. I would say this building had some really gross lighting, but as for what came out of the FX30, it handled itself pretty well. Myself and Hunter both have back injuries from the military, and the majority of what we do is run and gun style shooting. This camera was noticeably lighter than what we were used to. I was even able to put it on my personal gimbal, the Zion Weeble S, and the gimbal was noticeably lighter than what we were used to with the Blackmagic pocket cams on a Ronin S2. So does it make sense at this price point? In order for me to answer this question, I have to put it up against our other gear. We own a bunch of Pocket 4Ks from Blackmagic. I have to say that its all-around quality is much better. It actually shoots a lot like the Blackmagic 6K does when it comes to picture quality. It comes in about $700 cheaper than the 6K. So the storage price on the Sonys are just so much higher than what a CFast card for the Blackmagics costs. Using the 256 gigabyte memory card as an example, the Sony card comes in about $170 more. Here's the thing though. We compared BRAW and S-Log3 file sizes during the transfer, and for a similar shooting average, the Blackmagic took almost 600% more space. Even shooting in ProRes was a huge difference. In conclusion, I think if I were to choose a camera between the FX30, the FX3, and the Blackmagic 6K, I would go for the FX30. And I think that's pretty obvious since the price point for the FX30 is about $2,000 higher than the other 2 cameras. But what is not obvious is I could see myself choosing the 30 over the 6K just because they are so close in actual picture quality. The 6K, if I have control over my settings, I would definitely take, but as for the running gun style stuff, doing sports and concerts, I would easily go for the FX30. I mean, they're all good cameras. I just think that you should use them and find out how well they go into your workflow. If you want to see the review for the FX3, definitely check out my FX30 video that will be coming out in a few days.